Hello everyone, it is Rachel here with your November Maker Material Box instructional video. I'm so excited to be making this for you guys today because we're going to be running down all three of your projects from your digital project cards that you should have gotten in your email to go along with the November Maker Material box. So we have a very cute little chalkboard plaque with some vinyl on it and a little bow, and this says cold hands warm heart. And then we have a super simple mug that says get cozy, and then to finish it off we have an adorable little headband with a winter wonderland monogram on it. I'm so excited to jump into this because these are going to be great for you guys to use all throughout the winter. It's not just super Christmassy themed, which is really good because Christmas is fast approaching. So with this Maker Material Box, you'll be able to leave this up in your home or use this throughout the cold seasons. And here in Tennessee, we only have a few months of cold, but maybe in your neck of the woods, you could use these a lot longer. I'm excited to show you guys how to dive into these videos and get going on the tutorials. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the tutorials. Okay everyone, the first project we're going to be making today is our cute little plaque here. So we have our project card here. We got the digital version and decided to print it and cut it out. So that's what we did. So it does have some instructions on here to help you, but we're going to be kind of doing this step by step to show you guys this, because some people are written learners. They learn by reading handwritten notes, and some people are visual learners and they would prefer to learn by watching someone create it themselves. So today we're going to go through the process of making this. I'll let you in on the secrets of all the supplies we're going to need. A hot glue gun. You're going to need some white vinyl. This will come in your Maker Material Box. You'll also have your base in your Maker Material Box here, your base, and then your chalkboard piece. And then you're also going to need this little bow that comes in your Maker Material Box. We have some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel, some scissors, and we're going to be using some masking paper transfer tape, but you can really use any type of transfer tape you want to. You do have some in that box for you, so feel free to use that as well. So without further ado, we're going to head on in Design Space and show you guys the file that we're working with today and how we tweaked it a little to make it perfect for today's project. So here we are in Design Space, and we have all three of our amazing little cut files ready to go for us today. But the one we're going to be using today is this one here that says Cold Hands Warm Heart. And if we go over to Maker's Gonna Learn, we can go to the cut file section. And these are really easy to navigate. You're welcome to search them by category, or you can even go to the search bar here and search Cold Hands, and it should pop up right here for you guys, and this is the one that we're going to want. So go ahead and download that in Design Space. You guys know how to do that. We're going to go to upload here, and we can see it right here on our recently uploaded images. We're going to go ahead and insert that image here. And here you can see it's much larger. So the first thing that we're going to do is on our project up here where this little bow is, we actually have a 3D little burlap bow that we're going to place on here. So we need to remove this bow so it's not in our way for our project. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to shapes, and we're going to take a square, just a simple little square here. Go up here and grab it, and then we're just going to cover that bow up. You don't want to cover it too much to where it's way down here. You want to leave a little bit of room here. So go ahead and cover that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to select both the layers, and then you're going to click slice. And once you've went ahead and cut that bow off, we're just going to go ahead and size our little mittens here. And our board is roughly, let me measure it here, 6 inches by 5 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a width of 4 inches, and then we're going to hit that little unlock there so we can make the height exactly how we want it, and we're going to make that 5 inches for the height there. So once you have it exactly how you want it, you can go ahead and delete one of those because we do not need that. And we're going to go ahead and hide our other layers too so that we don't start cutting those because we don't need to just yet. And then we're going to go ahead and click Make It. This is a vinyl project, so there is no need to mirror your image. So we're going to go ahead and click Continue. And once it connects to our Maker via USB, we're going to go ahead and select our material. We have a brand new blade in, so we're just going to select vinyl and leave that on default pressure. And now we're just going to load our mat into our machine. We're just going to place our vinyl here onto the mat. Again, you can use vinyl in your stash, or you can use the vinyl that we provide for you in your maker material box. Either way, that is totally fine. And now we're just going to go ahead and load this into the machine and let it cut. So our mat is done cutting, so we're just going to unload this from the machine. And you can't see much from here, but we're going to go ahead and take our Cricut True Control knife, and we're going to carefully try and see where our lines are here. And I'm just going to cut and get the excess off of here so that we're not wasting any more vinyl than we have to. And now I'm going to peel this up. You guys can place this in your little scrap bins. And now I'm going to go ahead and get a weeding tool here and get you guys just a little closer to our mat. And I'm going to weed this for you guys. Now, before we weed it, I just want to show you the tools we've got. We have our pin tool, our weeder tool, and we have our burnishing tool, our scraper tool here. So what we're going to do is we're going to burnish this vinyl before we start to weed it. You guys know that that is the secret to successful vinyl projects. That and using rubbing alcohol, which we'll, of course, we'll get to in a moment. So I'm just going to go through here, start in a corner, and peel this up very, very carefully. And that part was super easy. So now you're going to have to get your pin tool and get in here very, very carefully and get all of this detailed stuff out of here. So it's going to be tricky and it's going to be time consuming. So you guys just take your time. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Just put on a movie, put on a little Christmas show that you've been wanting to watch, and take it easy. And we're just going to take these up section by section, not getting too overwhelmed as we go, removing these as we go if we can, and just, our pin tool is of course a great tip for this. Our pin tool works wonders on projects like this. So now we see our little word warm here. This is weeding very, very well. I think I could attribute that to burnishing and having a newer blade on here. It does definitely help with that newer blade. And this is going very, very well. And there's already one mitten down. There you guys can see we have one done. The pin tool helps. And these guys, of course, have a lifetime warranty. If any of you guys got the very first maker material box, you guys got a pin tool as well. How exciting was that? It feels like it was so long ago that the first maker material box got sent out. You guys are getting all kinds of goodies in your maker material box. And a lot of you might be thinking maybe a light box, maybe something like that will help. I have not found a light box very helpful with things like this. It almost in some cases makes it a little harder for me, and we do not want that. So just, it's definitely personal preference whether you guys like something like a light box or not. And I stole the middle of my A here, so I'm going to grab some reverse tweezers here and pick that out and add that back where it goes. The only tricky part about adding these back is wondering which side is the sticky side. And we are done with that guy. And the biggest tip I have is to just go slow. You don't need to rush anything like that because you do not want a project fail. And now what we're going to do is I've got my masking paper transfer tape. I'm going to cut off a little bit that got kind of fuzzy because that's not going to help us stick very well there. I'm going to cut off a little piece here. And I'm going to lay it down on our project. Go ahead and burnish that with your hands a little bit. And then I always flip it over and go with gravity when I pick things like this up, peel my mat up and not the project. And I'm going to burnish from the back because that helps. And now before I move on with anything else, I'm going to get our other secret weapon here. Our rubbing alcohol. I'm going to put a couple of pumps on there just like so, and I'm going to grab our chalkboard sign and I'm going to wipe it down. You guys know I'm obsessed with wiping anything I can wipe. I even wipe wood sometimes. I have no shame. And just FYI guys, right now is a very good time to go ahead and preheat your glue gun. We're using our Lynn Lilly cordless hot glue gun today. Any hot glue gun will work, of course. It does not have to be some kind of fancy kind. And now that you have this wiped off, I see some fuzzies. We're gonna go ahead and grab our design here. And we're gonna peel that backing up very carefully. Make sure you're not picking up any middles of the letters. That's very easy to do. And now before we lay this down, I'm gonna go through here, through the edges, and cut off some of this excess, because it is a lot easier to work with if you do not have a lot of extra tape here. So I'm just going through here, cutting this off. And that should be enough for us to work with. So here's our plaque, and we're going to do this long ways here. We're not going to do it short ways. So we're going to have ours long ways, and you just want to make sure that you position this correctly here. And just take your time, make sure you like where it's going. And then whenever you're ready, you can just lay it down. You can start in the middle here, burnish out with your fingers, then you can get your scraper tool here and start a scraping and burnishing that down. But guys, this is going to stay wonderfully, I promise. So now you're going to go ahead and start peeling this back. And look how well this is staying. It's gorgeous. Beautiful. Beautiful. The only thing again that we missed is our little tiny piece in between our A, but that I was going a little fast. You guys just slow your roll there and you'll be able to get that no problem. And next up guys is our little bow that we're going to be adding here, but I don't like these little end pieces here. So we're going to just take some scissors here. We're going to get back here on the back of this and we're just going to cut these off. There's one. And there's two. And you guys might like those, so you can leave them on if you want to, but I like the look of this better. So this is just going to stay right there for us, and that's going to be so cute. So now you're just going to add some hot glue back here. We've got our Lynn Lilly hot glue gun, and we're just going to add a nice glob of hot glue. Turn this over and set it down. And now you're going to kind of press it, and you're going to hold it here until it dries for a few seconds. I would say hold it down for about 30 seconds. And once this is dry, you can bring in your base here and slide this right down into your base. And there you have your adorable little finished project. Here's one, and then here is the sample that we made too. And this sample we made, you can see it from this angle. We made it using a foam square. So you can use a foam square or hot glue like we did today, however you want to. I think they turned out so cute. And that is the first project down and 2 more to go. I can't believe we're already on the second project, guys, but we're moving on to this adorable little mug here, and I'm going to add in a super easy trick to make your mug dishwasher safe. You guys are going to love it. But as for right now, we'll go through the supplies that we're going to need to make this. So of course, you're going to need a mug, and that will come in your box. You're also going to need 2 of the colors from your box, 2 vinyl colors. You're going to need white and this beautiful little mint green here that I'm obsessed with. We're also going to be using that paper transfer tape again, but again, you guys are welcome to use the transfer tape that comes in your box. We're going to be using some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. We need a ruler or a measuring tape or, something like that, and then you're going to need several Cricut tools. And again, we have printed out our little project cards here, so feel free to go along the tutorial with this or just watch this video to see how to make all these projects. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Design Space. Here we are, guys, and we have our file already uploaded and sized for us. As you can see here, we have already also changed the colors here. So if we go over here to Maker's Gonna Learn and we type out Get Cozy, it will pop up for us here, and this is in the brand new cut file collection for winter, so that is really cute too. You can always just click on Christmas and look at those. But we downloaded this and uploaded it into Design Space here, and it uploads like this with these colors, and I will show you guys how we got to change this. So we changed this by ungrouping this. So we went up here and ungrouped, and then we were able to click our layers individually and change their color. So we know that we want that one white, and we want this one to be mint green or blue. Either's fine, just something to differentiate it. And then guys, this is the most important thing about this project. Measure, 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 measure. Measure your mugs. Make sure you know the height of your mugs. Make sure you know what height to use. But we have used, over here is sized perfectly. It is, I think I sized it to 3 inches both ways. You're going to want to select all that, and then I entered in 3, enter, 3, enter. Make sure that you always unlock this little lock button if you're wanting to make your height and width super precise. And I think I just kind of made it just a hair smaller, just something like that. It's like I knew the max it could be, that I wanted to make it just a hair smaller. But we're going to go ahead and erase that. And now this one is 2 different files, as you can see, or excuse me, 2 different layers, and we're going to just be able to go ahead and click make it because we've already sized it properly for our mug and we've already changed the color. So we're going to go ahead and make it. And now you can do this, you really don't have to. We're going to go ahead and pop both colors on the mat. So I wanted to show you guys how to change the colors just for future reference, but today we're going to cut them all on the same mat. So you see I'm on my blue mat here, and I'm just clicking on my cut file here, and I'm going to click move to another mat, and I'm going to move it to our white mat here. I'm going to leave those up top because you'll see in just a moment what I've done. I've added our blue vinyl up in the top left corner of the mat and put our Get Cozy, our white layer, and our white vinyl on the bottom right side of the mat. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. This is using vinyl, so there's no need to mirror that. And once this connects, just like the other project, we're going to go ahead and just select vinyl and leave that on default pressure. And here's what I was talking about the mat, guys. Here's the top of the mat, and I've just laid our lime green up here, or not lime green, mint green. I've laid our mint green up here and our white down here. So we're just going to go ahead and load this into our machine and let it cut. And our mat is done cutting, so we're going to go ahead and unload that. And here you can see both of our colors are done. And again, just like last time, I'm just going to take my True Control knife here and cut around the excess of our vinyl so that we can save this, because vinyl does not grow on trees. So you can go ahead and place this in your scrap bin here. So I'm going to do the same thing with our other layer, our Get Cozy here. Add that to your scrap bin. And now we can go in with our weeding tool and go ahead and weed all of this out. I'm just going to do these first because they're super easy, but don't forget to always burnish before you weed your vinyl. Just going to start in the corner and carefully peel this up. So that layer's done, and now we're moving on to our Get Cozy down here. And it looks like it might have cut through just a little bit. That's what we get for using a brand spanking new blade, but I would say that it will be plenty salvageable. Just go slow. We don't want any craft fails today. If you get overwhelmed, take your scissors, cut it off, go in again. Just getting the middles out. You can use your pin tool if you want to. These are plenty big enough for me to use my weeder tool though. So now that you have that down, you're going to, of course, take your little magic trick here, your little rubbing alcohol, and we're going to clean our mug. And one tip I have, of course, is to pay attention to whether you're right-handed or left-handed, what side you want to hold your coffee cup, what side you want your decal to be out. I am a righty, so I want my decal to be facing this way. So I'm just going to go ahead and pump some rubbing alcohol on there and wipe down my mug. And that will be drying while we add our transfer tape to our design here. So we're going to bring these back in. And here's our paper transfer tape. And I think this will work well. We're just going to cut this once and cover our Get Cozy here. And then we're going to try and use the same piece for our little mint green accents over here. Trying to work smarter, not harder. We'll see how it works out. So now you're just going to take your transfer tape and lay it down on your design. Go ahead and burnish with your hands. Flip that mat, peel your mat up from your design, not your design up from your mat. Now we're going to burnish from the back. This is going to help that vinyl want to stick to that transfer tape even more, especially because this transfer tape is not as sticky as Cricut brands. So now we're going to go ahead and peel this up from the back. And we're already having trouble because that brand new blade here. Just if this happens to you, just keep moving on different sections of it and see if any corners will give you less problems. And we see we've hit that magic corner here. And again, guys, that's just because our blade is fresh and new. Feel free to put it on a little less pressure if you're afraid of this happening. But every little craft fail like that can just help you guys learn. So I just roll with it. And we've got our little mug here. And it helps to have something propped up under here. So I'm just going to place down our little weeder tool there just to help us a little bit. Little scraper tool. And now we're just going to position our Get Cozy down here. So this is where you want to really pay attention and make sure that you get your positioning right. And you can go ahead and lay that down very carefully and just put a little finger dot right there in the middle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with our scissors all around this guy. And we're going to snip those little cuts in here. And this is just going to help that vinyl lay down a little bit easier. If you got a bunch of words, be sure to snip it in the middle of the words too. That'll help. And now we're going to start from the middle and just burnish all the way out with our fingers. You don't really need your scraper tool on a project like this because it's not really a flat surface and your fingers usually do the job pretty good. And now we're just going to pick a random tab here that we've cut and just peel it on down. You can see how well that worked. And since I did cut those little slits in our transfer tape, we are going to have to use another piece for our little details over here, but have no fear because you get 6 inches by 100 feet of this stuff and it's very, very affordable. So we're going to go ahead and snip off a little piece there and bring back in our design here. I'll let you guys see it. We're just going to add our transfer tape, and I catty-cornered it a little bit just to make sure that I can cover it. Flip that mat over, peel that up, and burnish from the back. I'll peel that up here. Look at that color. I love that color. Now we're going to grab our mug again. We're just going to place this right down where we want it. And once you have it placed, go ahead and burnish with your fingers. You don't have to burnish in the middle of that transfer tape because we're just working on the edges here, these little details out there. So once you get those, you can go ahead and peel that transfer tape back. And there you have your adorable little mug. But we are not done yet, guys, because I'm going to be bringing out my secret weapon, my dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and showing you all how to make your mugs dishwasher safe. So everybody loves mugs. I know I love mugs. I drink coffee every single day with a mug, and I don't like not being able to put them in the dishwasher when they get super, super dirty or I get really lazy. So just take your dishwasher safe Mod Podge. This is from Amazon for relatively cheap. This is a big 16-ounce bottle, and it was about $10, so you really cannot beat that value. And we're just going to add a little paintbrush here, and we're just going to add a little layer over our design. Now the reason I'm not going to do this all over the mug is because while this is food safe, it's not FDA approved. So you don't really want to put this all over the mug where your lips are going to touch it or anything like that. Now nothing will hurt you about dishwasher safe Mod Podge, but better safe than sorry. You know, you don't want to waste too much of your product applying it on the entire mug anyways. So we're just going to apply a little thin layer here, and it's going to dry clear, so you won't be able to see it. You won't be able to see these little brush strokes, and give it about an hour. And after this is dry, you're going to add another coat and then add a third coat. I think 4 or 5 is the max that you need to add. You just want to make sure you're getting a really good seal with your Mod Podge. And after that, you're going to want to set this on a shelf and forget about it for quite a long time, guys. Unfortunately, the dry time, or not dry time, but cure time on this puppy is about a month. It's 28 days. But if you're welcome to drink out of it before then, of course, just give it a couple days to really dry. But cure time, like, don't put it in the dishwasher before it is done curing, that is for sure. But go ahead and let this dry a little bit and then add another coat. But guys, this one is done. We are on to our third and final project. And of course, guys, last but not least, we're going to be creating this really cute little earmuff. I don't know if this is called an earmuff or a headband. It keeps my ears warm during the winter, that's for sure. But we're going to be creating this with a beautiful Winter Wonderland monogram, of course, for Maker's Gonna Learn. And guys, we're not going to leave you high and dry. You guys get one of these in your Maker Material box. It is perfect for the winter. I love these. I prefer these over big toboggans or, you know, winter hats, because it doesn't mess my hair up as bad, and these look really cute with a ponytail. So these are really cute. These would make a great Christmas gift. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the Design Space tutorial on how to create this cute little monogram. Here we are in Design Space, guys, and you can see our finished monogram that we have created here using a beautiful font from Maker's Gonna Learn. This is called, let me type in Winter. And this is our winter monogram. You can see it right here. Now, if you guys have downloaded fonts before, you know exactly how to do it. You're just going to download it, and there will be 3 separate fonts to upload. And that will be the right side of the monogram, the left side of the monogram, and the center monogram. So go ahead and download those, and then we're going to make sure that we go into Design Space and make sure that you refresh that page, because your computer does not know when you have recently uploaded a font. So just make sure that it knows that you've done that. And then we're going to go over here to Winter Monogram Write, and we're going to write the letter W. And then we're going to go over to text again. Up in the font category, we're going to go to System, type in Winter. And we have already done the right. Now we're going to do the left. We're going to go in here and type out the letter A. And now we're going to go back here and select the center monogram. And we're going to write the letter T. And now it's my advice, guys, don't even move these, okay? Just select them all and then make them way, way bigger. And this is going to help you a lot. So now that you've got this way bigger so you can see it, go ahead and click off of that. Then we're going to click back on here. And we're just going to move these according to their placement here. And this is going to help you a lot. Once you move these, it's really hard to size them accordingly after the fact. So what we're going to do now is when you have these spaced apart the way you want them, we're going to go up to the Align tool and we're going to align center vertically. And you can see that A just dropped down because it's just going to make sure that everything is centered there. And now we're going to go ahead and click Attach, and now you can size it. So we're going to go ahead and size ours. You can make yours a little bit bigger than ours if you want to, but we're going to size ours to 2.5 inches. So we're going to go up here to width, 2.5, and it makes this our height 2.657. That's fine, close enough, guys. So once you already have this, we're going to go ahead and click Make It. Just make sure that you measure twice and cut once. We don't want any little fails here. And this is HTV, so we're going to go ahead and click Mirror there. We don't want to forget that when using heat transfer vinyl. And now we're going to click Continue. And once it connects to our machine, we're going to select regular everyday iron on here, and we're going to leave that on regular pressure. And now we're going to load our material onto our mat and our mat into our machine. Here's our mat, guys, and we have already loaded our material on here, and you know that we always load HTV onto our mat shiny side down. So you can see our beautiful little pattern here in HTV. This is going shiny side down. So it's going to leave this white up, and now we're just going to load it into our machine and let it cut. And also, guys, while that is cutting, it is a great time to go ahead and preheat your Easy Press. We're using our Easy Press Mini here, and we're going to go ahead and click that up to the second setting, which is around 350 degrees. Our HTV is done cutting, so I'm going to go ahead and unload that from the machine. And you can see it looks really, really cute here. So I'm going to go ahead and take our True Control knife, and I'm going to cut around our monogram here and peel up the rest of this beautiful color HTV to save that for later. And now I'm going to go in here and use my weeding tool. Start at a corner and peel up. We're just going to peel up our little letters here. Look how cute. And now we're going to go in with our pin tool and make sure that we get all of our little snowflakes, because we did not get them all, and you can definitely tell where the areas are that we have missed weeding them. So we're going to go in here and get our snowflake. There's one. Go in there. There's another. You might have to tilt it towards the light a little bit to be able to see, because it is white and a little harder to see. But again, I do not think that a light box or anything like that will help you. Really just turn it towards the light and being careful where you weed. And there you go. It's as simple as that to weed that, and our Easy Press has been preheated for us. So now we're just going to remove this from our mat here and bring in our Easy Press mat. We're going to lay our headband down here and apply this right where we want it to go. Be picky, guys. Make sure it's centered. Make sure it's the way that you want it. You can peel it up and place it back down as many times as you'd like. And once you have it where you want it, you can go ahead and heat it with your mini Easy Press. But we, just for safety, are going to use a Teflon sheet, but you don't have to. So we're going to go in with our baby Easy Press. And this little guy was designed to be moved around because it's double ceramic coated on a little heat plate here. So it recommends using little circular motions, but you do not have to use the Easy Press Mini. If you have another Easy Press or even a household iron, that will work just fine for this project as well. I do have a bad habit of not timing how long I hit my project, how long I heat my project for, which is a bad habit, but it has worked out okay for me. But I do recommend grabbing your phone and getting out your little timer just to make sure that you've at least hit 30 seconds when heating your project. Now I'm just going to remove that mini Easy Press and take up our Teflon sheet, and I can bring this in and you guys can see a little bit of bubbles there. You can see our teeny tiny bubbles, and that is what we like to see. So we're going to let this cool for just a few seconds. It's still really hot, and we'll just peel this up warm. And this has been a super easy project. And here we go. You can see how easy this is transferred flawlessly, guys. So here is our beautiful little monogram, and we have 2 of these now. So make these for Christmas presents, for birthday presents, for things like that. Anybody who is out in the snow a lot or loves to do activities in the winter, they will love these to keep their little ears warm. But that is our 3rd and final project, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed them all. Well, guys, that is it for the tutorials for this November Maker Material box. I hope that you all have enjoyed them. I loved breaking down all 3 of these and showing you guys some tips and tricks on how to make them perfect. I hope that you all are enjoying your Maker's Material boxes, and I loved making this video for you all. Until next time, see ya!